out there to another edition of the Best in Professional Wrestling, IWA International Championship Wrestling. With me, the master of many holds, six-time world champion Lou Thez. And Lou, we have got a match, a main event match coming up today that I think the fans will stay tuned for. And I want to tell all you people out there to call home, call your relatives. You're going to be seeing an IWA World Tag Team title match when the Mongols defend their belts against Victor Rivera and Dino Bravo right here on this program. And I'll tell you, Lou, that's going to be quite a bout.
That should be a great match. And you know, Ron, I've done a lot of globetrotting in my wrestling years. And IWA has managed to garner the finest wrestlers in the world. How you continue to come up with the fine matchmaking, a very artful thing, is beyond me. But you're doing a great job, and I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much. Don't forget, fans, Victor Rivera and Dino Bravo against the world champion Mongols later on in the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to International Championship Wrestling. These bouts are sanctioned by the International Wrestling Association. Robert F. Hatch, president. Our first bout will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Your referee for tonight, Tommy Young. Introducing, first of all, hailing tonight from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 231 pounds, Billy Jackson. His opponent, hailing from Aspen, Colorado, weighing in tonight at 265 pounds, luscious Larry Heineme.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this fellow Heineme is the smileless one. He doesn't smile. He doesn't acknowledge seeing anyone. He just isn't a man of the street. He's supposed to be a wrestler. He is a wrestler. He's had some wrestling experience. But he goes through life running roughshod over young people. And I hope he doesn't do it with this young fellow. But he's the unsmiling one. He's a strange fellow. I look at his face, and I sometimes try to get a flicker.
Well, I'll tell you, Lou Thez, when you've got luscious Larry Heineme inside that ring, you've got a violent man. A very tough
Beautiful
man.
takedown.
That's right. He's finally showing some of that collegiate wrestling that he knows quite well. I'd like to welcome all the fans all over the IWA Wrestling Network to another edition of the Best in Professional Wrestling, IWA International Championship Wrestling. Ron Martinez along with Lou Thez, the six-time world champion. And Lou right now, an arm lock by luscious Larry Heineme.
Double wrist lock now, and he's illustrating, as you say, his wrestling knowledge, which proves that he can wrestle.
Heineme, of course, coming from Minnesota originally, just moving to Aspen, Colorado. He's quite an outdoorsman. Likes to ski. But I'll tell you one thing he really seems to like to do, Lou, is he likes to end the careers of young and up-and-coming wrestlers.
That seems to be his ambition, and he's apparently done a pretty good job in many areas. This is a punishing hold he has on this young fellow here, and it could separate a clavicle. And he's trying to get him to concede now.
I'll tell you, he might be in bad shape, Mr. Jackson, right now, because referee Tommy Young, the #1 rated wrestling referee in the country right now, he's checking the action.
Up into the hammerlock now. That could be a shoulder separation. That is murder. I don't like this at all.
Look at him. Look at this maniac now. Look at luscious Larry Heineme using those boots of his on the arm of Billy Jackson. And I'll tell you, young Billy, he's a rookie in the game of professional wrestling. He signed an open contract. He said anybody at all.
Well, he has anybody in there. It's completely unnecessary to abuse a fellow like he's abusing this young man.
Larry Heineme right now with those leveling smashes under the chest and arms of Billy Jackson. Right now, Heineme kicking away at the small of the back, Lou Thez, and that could cause some sort of permanent injury.
And he isn't trying to pin the man. What he's trying to do is abuse him.
Luscious Larry now, look at this, screaming for the man to pick himself up. You know, Lou Thez, right now in the ratings for the IWA World Championship, luscious Larry Heineme is rated as #3 contender behind the mighty Igor at the #2 spot, and Bulldog Bauer, the current North American champion, is the #1. But I'll tell you, Heineme, he says he wants better competition. He says he wants the champion, and he says it's only a matter of time before he is wearing the world title belt of the IWA.
Well, with the viciousness that he wrestles with and the knowledge that he has, it could very well be that he could arrive at the top.
Flying elbow smash by luscious Larry Heineme.
I wouldn't like to see that, though, because a man like Mil Mascaras is a great champion, a great wrestler, and a fine sportsman. And I think a man like that in the driver's seat is much better for wrestling than a ruffian like this.
Look at this. Larry Heineme punishing. You hear Jaime Luthez. Come on, Brower is yelling. Come on, Mascaras. Like I said, this man is an island unto himself. He has no friends. Jaime with that back suplex. Referee Tommy Young counting. It's 3.
Great Greco-Roman move.
There you have it, fans. The winner of the fall of the match with the back suplex and body press. Luscious Larry Jaime. We'll be back with more International Championship Wrestling after this timeout.
With me at ringside right now, 2 of the great Latin stars, Luis Martinez and the IWA Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, the man that has really built a reputation for him in the last couple of years, Mil Mascaras. Louis, before we talk to our IWA champion, I would like you to talk to our wrestling fans all over the country.
First of all, I'd like to know, I want you people to know one thing, that IWA means talent, means top men, superstars, men from all over the world. That's what the IWA means. And I'm glad to be part of it because you people are going to see something you've never seen before, and that is action, action, and more action. Right here on my right here, we have Mil Mascaras, who is a Latin like I am, and as a Latins, we'd like to represent our nationality, Mexico.
Luis Martinez, the Arriba Kid. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, the IWA Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Mil Mascaras.
Well, you know, I'm ready for wrestling anybody, any contenders, Kalmikoff, Bulldog Brown, and Erik the Red, anybody all over the world. I'm ready and work out every day. I'm training hard, you know. I'm ready, you know.
You know, we've received a lot of mail especially from some of our younger wrestling fans, Mil Mascaras, heavyweight champion, and of all the letters that I receive, everybody is interested in how you obtain that beautiful body that you possess. How often do you, I know you work out every day, but for how long?
Well, I work out almost an hour a day, you know, and I stay in good shape. Especially wrestling, this is the way.
And the most important thing, boys and girls, that I know that you're interested in Mil Mascaras and his physical condition, is the fact that aside from working out with the weights, not really that much, Mascaras works out with physical exercises. And he and I talked about this for many hours, and he explained to me that it's very important that you keep your body trim. I would like you to say something to all of our Latino friends.
Okay, bueno, a todo el público de habla hispana, espero que la próxima vez tengamos oportunidad de vernos en la arena y saludarnos. Y espero que nos vengan a dar a mí, tanto a mí como a Luis, como a Polo, todo el público latino que me está escuchando, nos vengan a dar el apoyo moral que tanto nosotros necesitamos en las arenas. Muchísimas gracias y por ahí los esperamos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the IWA Heavyweight Wrestling Champion Mil Mascaras and Luis Martinez. Let's go back up to the ring right now and more action.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing, first of all, weighing in tonight at 249 pounds, Joe Wilson. His opponent, hailing from Chattanooga, Tennessee, weighing in tonight at 231 pounds, former University of Tennessee star pistol Pez Whatley.
Ladies and gentlemen, this young fellow, Pez Whatley, is one of the finest young wrestlers to come down the pike in many years. He was amateur champion in the state of Tennessee, I think 2 years running. Attended the University of Chattanooga. Has a great record there. I've talked to some of the fellows there that wrestle him, talked to his coach. They're all impressed with him. I certainly am.
Brower's we'll talk to Brower for a couple of minutes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just had a request here. A request, more like an order, by Dick the Bulldog Brower.
It's an order. I'm going to tell you something right now. This little bushy-head character that's in the ring, he started off the bloody train. That started off the powers to jump in my match. Well, I'll tell you right now, my knee is not in the best of shape because I believe this maniac tried to break my knee. And I'm just going to sit right here, and I'm going to get my equal time because Powers seems to be getting too much time around here, and he's trying to establish a reputation which I'm going to destroy the first time Powers puts his tights on and his boots against me. Dick the Bulldog Brower.
There you have it, fans, from the current IWA North American champion. And I've got to say one thing, Bulldog, There are a lot of men all over the country today that are challenging you. They're after you, Bulldog Brower.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I am not a track star. I am Dick the Bulldog Brower, one of the most rugged wrestlers in professional wrestling today. And I don't run, hide, duck, or sneak away from anybody. Listen, my name isn't Mil Mascaras. I'm not a powder puff champion. That's what Mascaras is. I'm a real man.
There you have it, fans. Right now, Pistol Pez Whatley using those headbutts to good use against Joe Wilson.
Now I can see what's going on here. Look at this lousy guy here. Now you mean to tell me, look at that. Look at that. See, he deliberately fouled him then. You see where that head went?
There you go for a big knee lift, Dick the Bulldog Brower and Pistol Pez Whatley right now. I got to say that Mr. Whatley is definitely in contention for that North American title that you have strapped around your waist.
There is many contenders for my title. There is many top wrestlers in IWA wrestling today which may have a chance to give me a good run for my money. But I am not letting any wrestler stand in my way to get a hold of that Mil Mascaras. No wrestler. Matter of fact, I'd be so glad to get anybody to wrestle me just to show them that Dick the Bulldog Brower Power is the man of the hour. I take no second to nobody. Look at these two morons in this ring now. Look at this little guy in the red tights here. Now you see, that's right. Now, do you mean to tell me that this little guy is a contender? Look at that. He deliberately punched him with his fist. That's not wrestling. That's brutality.
Well, all I can say is, Bulldog Brower, that once in a while you have known yourself to be used for a little bit of brutality in that ring. Right now, Pistol Pez going for the
see that power, then he just threw him off.
Joe Wilson connecting the throw-off. Try for a flying mare there by Pistol Pez, not quite good enough. Wilson blocking. Wilson working away now on the head and shoulders of Pistol Pez Whatley.
He's wearing him down. The big man's wearing him down.
University of Tennessee star Pistol Pez, a great amateur wrestler. He was AAU champion, and he is a up-and-coming wrestler in the ranks of IWA. Referee Tommy Young trying to break the hold now between Pistol Pez. You know, one thing I do have to ask you, Bulldog Brower. Right now, there are two main contenders for the North American title. Victor Rivera, the Puerto Rican star, and of course your arch enemy, it might be called, Johnny Powers, the man who come to IWA specifically looking for you, specifically looking for that North American title.
Well, as you know, I'm the one that put Johnny Powers in the hospital. I'm the one that broke his nose, give him contusion, facial lacerations, plus I give him a nice little beautiful brain concussion. I'm proud of my work, I enjoy my work, and I love punishing wrestlers. Matter of fact, Johnny Powers, he is one of the ones, everybody and every wrestler has a few wrestlers in the profession that they despise, detest. Johnny Powers, the word Powers, nauseates me. He nauseates me right to the stomach just to hear his name. Johnny Powers, Victor Rivera. Now, Victor Rivera is a great star. He is a great wrestler, but I don't believe that he's in my class. In the East Coast area, he's got many followers, many Puerto Ricans that look up to him, many of them at Ireland. But I'll tell you one thing, Victor Rivera, you mark my words, you wrestle me, and you're in for the beating of your life.
Pistol Pez Whatley right now on the receiving end of those short chops from Mr. Wilson. Going for a backdrop. There he brings him into a sunset flip. A good try by Pistol Pez. Head scissors by Joe Wilson. Wilson getting out again. It's move and counter move. The whole sport of professional wrestling is move and counter move. And there's the backdrop. And the spirit. And it's a sunset flip victory by Pistol Pez Whatley. And I got to tell you fans out there, what a fantastic victory for the University of Chattanooga Star. Right now, fans, winner of the fall of the match with the sunset flip and body press, Pistol Pez Whatley. We'll be back with more International Championship Wrestling after this important message. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing, first of all, weighing in at 207 pounds from Columbia, South Carolina, Eddie Dean. His opponent, 325 pounds. He hails from Odense, Denmark. Ladies and gentlemen, Erik, the Red. Along with the world's greatest wrestling manager, General George Cannon.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. You know, I watch this wrestling all the time because I'm Dick the Bulldog Brower, and every opportunity I get to see a match, whether it's on TV or it's in any arena in the country. Anytime there's IWA wrestling, I make sure that I stop and see who's wrestling and what they're doing. I have a manager that nobody knows about, which keeps close contact with me, telling me who's winning, who's losing, and where the big money is. Well, right now, the big money is with IWA. The big money is where Dick the Bulldog Brower is. Mil Mascaras, the Mongols. There's thousands of wrestlers that are trying to join up with us now. And when they do, we'll have the greatest wrestling, professional wrestling there is made for television. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not just being braggadocious here. I'm saying Dick the Bulldog Brower is the North American champion. Mil Mascaras, he is the International Wrestling Champion, the heavyweight champion. And when you see me in the ring, and when you see him in the ring, you are seeing the finest. And IWA is the finest wrestling in professional wrestling today. And I'm going to tell you right now, while I'm sitting here watching this brutality, which is what you get when you are a professional wrestler. This is a man's sport. This is winner take all, and losers go home crying. And when you speak of losers, you might as well put Johnny Powers at the top of the list. Because me, the one and only, Dick the Bulldog Brower, is going to take Johnny Powers apart, arm by arm. He did something to me on a show here on TV. He injured my knee. I've been limping with it for a week.
Now just
and
wait
the
a
first
second,
time
Brower.
I get him.
Just wait 1 second. Now, we talk about injuries. When we talk about injuries, don't leave out the fact that you yourself, Dick the Bulldog Brower, did quite a job on Johnny Powers before, breaking his nose, injuring him, putting the man in the hospital for a period of almost 4 weeks, costing him his livelihood.
What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? That's what it's all about, brother. That's what wrestling's all about. Get in there and tear and rip and punish. This isn't an old lady sport. This is a man's sport. And everybody in it is a man, whether they're big or small, 200 or 300. We're all men, and we want to be treated like men. I would just as soon wrestle in the ring without any referees and let the best man walk away. And that's going to be me, Bulldog Brower, because Johnny Powers, Victor Rivera, the mighty Igor, and this Mascaras, you don't have a chance against the Bulldog. Just put that camera right here. You see what I got here? This is my belt. Look at it, Powers. Look at it and cry. Look at it, Rivera. Look at it, Igor, because you're not getting a touch of it. But believe me, the only belt you're going to get is a belt in the mouth.
Well, Dick the Bulldog Brower has got many challengers, that's true. But right now we're going to look up into the ring and talk a little bit about the big man from Copenhagen, Denmark. Right outside of Copenhagen, a little village called Odense. Erik the Red. That's Erik the Red, 327 pounds, the Norse Viking. And his manager, George Cannon. And right now, young Eddie Dean is not faring too well. The big splash, there it is.
That's what you call good
327 pounds of Erik the Red.
The Bulldog Brower like
Dean.
that, I'll tell you that.
Thank you very much, Bulldog Brower. There you have it, fans.
Well,
the winner
it's
of
your
the fall
pleasure
match.
having me here. It's your pleasure.
Erik the
and
Red.
I'll be back. Believe me, I'll be back.
We'll be back, fans, with more International Championship Wrestling after this timeout. Ivan Kalmikoff with me right now, wrestling fans. And you know, Ivan, last week we got so much mail, so much response about the mighty Igor in the arm wrestling contest. The promoters of International Championship Wrestling requested another session with the mighty Igor as the resident strongman, you might say.
I'll tell you what, I've been stopped on the street so many times during the past week, and I said, I will have Igor on television again with IWA Wrestling, and he will be pouring that feeder string against two supermen, and you can bring them up here. We have the table, we have the chair, we're ready to go right now.
All right, the first challenger, and this guy, I'll tell you, he's a scrapper. Nelson Royal, Cowboy Nelly. Cowboy Nelly, what do you think you can do against Big Igor in an arm wrestling contest?
Well, he's got awfully big arms, and he's a strong man, but all we got to do is sit down and we'll try it and see how it comes out.
All right, there you have it, the arm wrestling contest between mighty Igor and Nelson Royal.
You know, some wrestlers and some strong men use all kind of tricks in this thing. But I'll tell you what, from what I knowledge that I have with Igor, it takes sure strength. Sure strength is all it takes.
It looks like they're both getting ready now. Igor, that's sort of like a psych out move, Ivan, when he's pounding
he's pounding that table. Show them how hard he's going to slam their arm against that, at the back of their arm or their wrist, you know.
Oh, here we go now, fans.
All right, Igor. Dennis. All right.
Igor's ready. You know, the world's strongest wrestler. In competition against a tough little scrapper by the name of Nelson Royal, and everybody knows Cowboy Nelly.
He goes for the big grip now.
Yeah.
They're trying to, I think they got a little anxious and a little ambitious to see who's going to get the first grabs. As they grab that big thumb as they go around. Here it goes now, ready now any second right now, any second. They will grab, and as soon as they do, they go right into the action. Now, there they are. There they're not pulling down on it. Pulling down on him real hard. Igor's pulling him in strong and hard. He's pulling him. He's keeping his elbow.
That's it. The mighty Igor. Igor winning another one, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we're looking for another challenger to come up right now. Maybe somebody from the audience. Wait a minute. Luscious, Mr. Hainimi.
What's going on here? Is the Polak got a new toy or something? What's going on here? What is he doing?
The explanation to you what he's doing? He's having men that challenge him come up here, gentlemen. And sir, if you're one, I'll use that loosely. If you want to challenge him,
Minnesota, you know, up in northern Minnesota where the Lumberjacks are, we know all about arm wrestling. In Aspen, Colorado, where I live right now, we know all about arm wrestling. We wrestle by mountain rules, Minnesota rules. What are the rules here?
Well, I'll tell you what.
What are you doing here?
I'm here. Stipulation is that Igor and I and his manager. And sir, then you're no amateur this. Do you want to challenge Igor? You're no amateur. You're telling me what you know. What the stakes are? The one proud thing to be say that you defeated Igor. You want to do that? You want to try him? You want to try him?
Wait a minute. I am the mountain champion. I'm the Minnesota champion. It would be he that says he defeated me, not me that defeated him. Sit down, you people. Explain it to him. Explain it to him.
Wait a minute, Hainimi. Just before we get into a war of words here, Ivan. Now, before we get in, I don't want no ruckus here, gentlemen. The wrestling will be...
one time.
All right, one time. You place your elbow on the table. Close your elbow, and it's has to stay on the table. Grab each other's thumb and start to pry loose. The elbow does not come off the table.
Here we have it, wrestling fans.
Sit down.
Shut up! Sit him down.
Sit down. You sit down.
Get him to sit down.
Sit down. He'll sit down when you do.
Sit him down.
Sit down.
Come on, gentlemen. Let's have a bit of a compromise. Both sit down at one time. That's all. I'll tell you, fans, we got action right now.
You sit down. He'll sit down.
Let's both sit down at the same. Both of the contestants will sit down at the same time.
Go ahead, gentlemen.
Go ahead, Igor. Let's just hope this table can withstand the pressure of these two behemoths. And they get into it. No, Igor. It's time for the arm wrestling contest, gentlemen, please. A challenge has been made by luscious Larry Hainimi and Igor.
I'm out of your way, sir.
Ivan is here. Ivan will not interfere at all.
Gentlemen, when you're ready, commence. Commence when you're ready. Igor,
Larry Hainimi, Ivan, is a very tough individual, as you know. He is, Igor's not fooling around this time.
I'm glad we have a super strength man with Larry Hainimi. Now, we'll see what happens.
He's big and he's tough. He's,
Shut up! Silence!
Please, quiet. Please, quiet. Quiet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now, Igor and Hainimi going to go into this arm wrestling contest. The strength of wills. They're both like cats, stalking their foe right now, and they get into it. You never know what's going to happen.
See what it is. If someone will grab your fingers and start to squeeze your fingers, taking them down. There they are.
There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The mighty Igor starting to put Larry Hainimi down. Larry Hainimi coming back. Hainimi.
Grabbing the edge of the table.
Hainimi grabbing the edge of the table. Now, is that illegal? Ivan, is that a legal move? Is that legal? Illegal move. Igor, I must say, does not have anything in his hand.
Igor has his arm right here. Take a look. See where his hand is? At the edge of the table. As the viewing audience can see it, everybody here. He has lose the table go. Let the table go. Let the table go.
Heinemi on the losing end right now. The mighty Igor, the world's strongest wrestler. Who knows right now, fans? It could go either way. Heinemi. Here comes Heinemi now. He's giving the better to him.
So put Teres.
Now where? I don't have any coaching. He's in there coaching him. Why is there a coach in there? What is he saying, Dumb and Polish? He's got a coach. I had no coach. Do it by my rules. One more chance. Do it by my rules. Sir, you got a coach. The coach. I don't know what you're saying, Dumb and Polish. Do it by my rules and see what happens.
Sir, what are your rules? What are you?
You take your choice. There are two. Do it by lumberjack rules with broken beer bottles, so the man that loses ends up with a scar the rest of his life. Or do it by mountain rules with a burning candle, so there's a burn on his hand the rest of his life.
No,
do it by my rules.
Wait a minute,
and you
Heinemi.
keep your mouth shut and no coaching.
Either broken glass on each side of the man or a lighted candle,
That's
right?
That's right. They get their choice. Take your
This
choice.
gentleman wishes to have. I don't want to bring the bottom, but I will. We'll have Igor use the candles. We will use the candles. Will you tell us that?
He says he wants the candles. Now, wait a minute, gentlemen. This has gone long enough for today. We have no more time allotted for this segment. However, you want to do it bad enough, Heinemi, you can do it on next week's program.
With candles.
Candles.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, up to the ring for our next match. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be a one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing, as he enters the ring, weighing in tonight at 245 pounds, he hails from Sicily, Tony Romano. His opponent, hailing from Poland, weighing in tonight at 276 pounds, the world's strongest wrestler, the mighty Igor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've all just witnessed the powerful Igor in action. The fellow is just unbelievable with his strength. He could probably push 300 or 400 pounds with one arm. It's a very unusual thing. He's done a lot of concentrated training, apparently, but to put a fellow like Larry Heinemi down takes a great deal of power.
You know something, Lou Pez? I was in the middle of all that before, and I'll tell you, now, I've never heard of anything like broken glass on each side of the wrestler's wrist, but evidently, on next week's program, there's going to be 2 lighted candles on each side of the table.
That's well,
Heinemi and Igor will have an arm wrestling contest, and the loser will wind up with burned hands. Let's face it, Lou, that's the way it ends.
Well, I think Heinemi will finally get his just desserts, because I would have to put my money on Igor. However, one doesn't know how much training Heinemi will do in the interim, but I think in the training area, Igor has a head start.
Igor throwing Tony Romano into the ropes. Right now, Igor, who's a little upset to say the least, is having no trouble whatsoever with Tony Romano.
You know, in the past, Ron, I have never been apprehensive about wrestling muscle men, and I always thought that I could handle weightlifters pretty easily. But this fellow Igor is just something else again. He has superhuman strength. And a fellow like that would be hard to handle under any conditions. Like a double wrist lock that would be normally usable on anyone wouldn't probably work on this fellow.
Speaking about strength, Luthez, there is the power right there. There it is, the mighty Igor with his famous bear hug.
Like a rag doll.
That's it, Lou. When Igor slaps that bear hug, the match is almost over. We'll be back with more International Championship Wrestling after this important timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be a one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Weighing in tonight at 394 pounds, he's hailing from Detroit, Michigan, Big Jim Lancaster. His opponent, hailing from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing in tonight at 245 pounds, Johnny Powers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, when this fella Powers gets going, he is exactly that. He's a powerhouse. The fella has fantastic reflex, and I've seen him go a time or two, and his adrenaline flows, and this fella can really move. And I'm afraid that Lancaster's in for a rough evening. He's a big, heavy fellow, maybe hard to handle, but this Powers has a lot on the ball.
You know something, Luthez, Johnny Powers, as I was saying in last week's program, he never really had a chance to show the people his personality. I'll tell you, he came into the IWA. At first, his tactic was to Bulldog Brower. He wanted Brower. He wore the jacket with North American champion on the back. He was after him, and then it happened when Brower attacked him so many weeks ago on Championship Wrestling, and he was put into the hospital. But, you know, John, he's not a violent man. He's not a violent man at all, and John Powers was... and still is a Canadian, and he is on the National Physical Fitness Program that works with adults and youth all throughout the state of Canada, the country of Canada.
That certainly is commendable.
You know, when you got guys like this, and John has shown all the people only his violent nature, but John's a fantastic guy. I've known John Powers for 9 years, and I'll tell you, he's helped me in a lot of ways, and all I can say is wish the best for the man that I call the next North American champion.
You could very well be right, and the thing that you point out is so important. He is a gentleman combined with his athletic ability. It's a great thing to have.
You know, Lou, there's so many wrestlers around today that are just wrestlers. They're not like human beings, you know, like when you take yourself, for instance, you were world champion for 6 times, but you never forgot that the most important thing inside a wrestling arena is the fan itself.
Well, he's a man that not only follows us and is like you say, our fan, he's our bread and butter. This is getting to the monetary side of it. But if a man really follows you and he is your fan, you owe a lot to him. What you owe to him is to keep yourself in great condition and go out there and exhibit the wrestling that you've learned over the years. And that's what Powers is doing right now.
Johnny Powers trying to stay away as much as he can, as much as he's able to. The kicking and the punching, and he's just going with straight wrestling now.
He just executed an old-time thing like a top spin. And what we do, we spin around on top, and then if the leg is available or an arm, why we secure it, and that's how we get it. Yes, it's a beautiful move.
Lancaster paying more attention with the fans outside than with Johnny Powers inside. You can't make a mistake like that with Powers or it's all over.
No, the way he just spun on the top of a man, it's called a float, you know. He could just float on the top of the mat doing sit-outs, and that's really determines a wrestler.
Beautiful sacrifice throw by John Powers. Side headlock.
You can imagine the power it takes to throw 300 pounds around.
Oh, yes, I certainly can. There he goes. Mr. Lancaster, he's going to make it right into a rolling headlock, John Powers. Lancaster trying for a suplex of some sort.
Lancaster's trying to get rid of him, but Powers hangs on like a bulldog.
I tell you, Johnny Powers, he is one kind of wrestler. And I would not like to be in Bulldog Brower's shoes right now because Powers is gunning for Brower, and there's no two ways about that.
Well, I think it's really time that someone is there to rectify the things that Brower has been doing, and I think Powers is a man that can handle it.
Johnny Powers right now with the referee's position against Jim Lancaster, a big boy, Jim Lancaster, not quite 300 pounds from Detroit, Michigan. Powers reversing his field now. Johnny Powers aiming with that big punch to the breadbasket. He only uses it, Lou, I've seen, when he's forced to. When the man uses it against him, Lancaster going down hard.
He's got him softened up now. He's really going after him.
Arm whip by Powers. He's got him with that big flying elbow smash. He's leaping in for that figure 4 leg lock known as his power lock, and he's got it. And brother, it is over. It is over.
It's a wise decision for Lancaster, I'll tell you.
You know, Lou, with something like that, you can tell before the bell is ringed.
Oh,
Lancaster was finished.
The end of the line.
Okay, fans, the winner of the fall of the match with the power lock, Johnny Powers. And we'll be back with more International Championship Wrestling after this timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Reynolds at ringside, along with Ivan Kalmikoff, the manager of the Polish strongman, the mighty Igor.
You know, I'm as happy as I can't even express myself that we're wrestling for the IWA. But there's one thing that would be much more happier if we get the opportunity for Igor to get up against Bulldog Brower, who is the IWA North American Heavyweight Champion. This is the one thing that we want to get to. Igor, to have the opportunity to show everybody what he can do against the IWA North American Heavyweight Champion, Dick the Bulldog Brower. Igor is set as the best time of his life right now. The opportunity only has to present itself that he will take the title of the IWA champion, Dick the Bulldog Brower. Igor, co ci zrobiłeś to in the Bulldog Brower? You see that arm? Brower thinks he's a lot bigger and stronger than this man. Well, it takes brains, too, and Igor has the brains, the knowledge, and the wrestling ability. Whatever Brower comes up here and says, all right, he's a credit. He's a credit to everything. That's why he is the champion of the IWA North American Heavyweight Champion. But as I said in the past, when Igor gets in that ring, he will be the new IWA North American Heavyweight Champion. There's so many areas that we haven't got into. There's so many people that have imitated Igor. Now, I'm presenting through the IWA the opportunity for everybody to see the real mighty, the most strongest men in wrestling, the Igor.
You know, the one thing that impresses me, Ivan, and Igor too, as many times, and I've been all over the country with you and the mighty Igor, the Polish strongman, and what impresses me is that whenever Igor appears in the different arenas, the children, the mothers, the fathers, everyone in attendance goes absolutely wild.
Correct. He has the greatest following I've ever seen anybody. He's like the Pied Piper.
Charisma.
When he goes into the place, into any arena, any of these big places, they all follow him. The boys, the children, everybody just comes to him. There's no one that he spends more time with in civic duties and everything else than this man has. He's presented wrestling as it should be. A lot of people think it's downtrodden people that are nothing. But Igor has brought to the light of everybody how good he is, how great he is, and he will defeat Bulldog.
Let's go up to the ring right now and more exciting action.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match will be for the World Tag Team Championship of the IWA. It will be the special main event of tonight's program. Introducing, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, with a combined weight of 567 pounds, they are the IWA World Tag Team Champions, Bolo and Guido, the Mongols. Their opponents, the challengers, introducing, first of all, from San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico, 235 pounds, Puerto Rican champion, Victor Rivera. 238 pounds, the IWA Rookie of the Year, Dino Bravo.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great piece of matchmaking. This is a major sporting event, a real major sporting event. These young fellows opposing the Mongols should make a very, very good account of themselves. They're two very fine athletes, beautifully conditioned athletes, have a great aptitude for wrestling. I hope they can get the job done. Rivera, of course, is a great athlete from Puerto Rico, and Dino Bravo is a Rookie of the Year. Great condition, both.
You know, this ought to be quite a match. It's a title match, the first time ever, I might add, that IWA International Championship Wrestling has had a World Tag Team title match on television, Luthez. And this ought to have all the action and excitement by an up-and-coming young tag team, Victor Rivera and Dino Bravo. And I got to tell you, there's the classic combination right there of agility and speed.
Well, you know, Ron, matchmaking is a real art. And this is a real artful piece of matchmaking to put this together.
The World Tag Team title belts of the IWA, the Mongols, Bolo and Guido. Guido, the first man into the ring to challenge Victor Rivera, the Puerto Rican champion. We're getting ready for the bell. Referee Tommy Young calls for the bell, and the match is officially underway. Victor Rivera in this World Tag Team title match against Guido Mongol. The Mongol goes down off the spinning tackle. The second one, Victor Rivera puts down Guido Mongol. A flying arm drag, one arm. Arm drag by Victor Rivera. He goes for the second one. And Victor Rivera right now showing the Mongols he's not made of anything but pure wrestler, boy.
And Victor is on, isn't he?
Bolo Mongol being drop-kicked from the ring apron. Guido still inside the ring, and you can feel the people get behind these challengers, these young, exciting new challengers for the IWA Tag Team Championship. Victor Rivera, the Puerto Rican star. It's a bad place to be, Lou, when you get caught up in the Mongols' corner.
I should say so. This cannon here, he's always out of order. whether it's verbally or physically.
Guido Mongol tagging his partner Bolo, and Bolo is in the action now. Bolo working on the Puerto Rican star Victor Rivera. Victor is tossed outside. Dino Bravo, the rookie of the year right now, making sure his new partner is okay. Dino been searching for a new partner for quite some time now. I think he's found a good one. The Mongols still working on the combination of Victor Rivera and Dino Bravo.
I think the great thing these two young men have going for them is their condition. They can really handle a lot of abuse.
You know, right now, Lou, the big Mongol, Bolo, will not let Victor Rivera back inside the ring. He's still using those big jack boots to keep him outside. Victor being brought inside now by the Mongol.
Yeah, by the trunks illegally, right.
What's new, Luthez?
Yeah, isn't that true?
Victor coming back now. A forearm smash by the Puerto Rican champion. And he's stymied again, but he's coming back again. Here comes Victor. Here comes Bravo. You're going to be seeing right here, ladies and gentlemen, a new tag team pushing down the one Mongol, slamming the other. Dino Bravo coming back after these World Tag Team Champions. And right now, Lou, it looks like Bolo is not in too good a shape. He's bounding from one to the other,
They're working
receiving
him over.
nothing but punishment.
Working him over real well. The conditioning is paying off.
Arm whip. Speared him into a backdrop.
Fantastic.
Here he comes with that leg dive across the throat. Wait a minute now. Victor is still outside the ring. Getting ready to tag, and Dino has got both Mongols to contend with. Victor Rivera being the gentleman ever. He's got the one. Got him by the ponytail. Victor Rivera unloading a big one. Dino Bravo returning the favor. Now here we go, fans. The best in their wrestling. IWA. Abdominal stretch by Dino
Beautiful
Bravo.
abdominal.
Almost over, fans. Wait a minute. Dino Mongo coming in, breaking up the hold. Here comes Victor again.
I thought that was it. I thought he had him on.
You know, Lou, you can try to beat these Mongols, and they can beat you in 30 different ways.
They've got a lot of underhanded things.
Determination, guts, grit, that's what they have. They'll always be on top. IWA champions, the Mongols, always.
There you have it, fans, from George Cannon, the manager of such Mongols.
Slightly biased. In spite of all of the illegal tactics that they do use, Ron, we must admit that these Mongols are great competitors.
Yeah, they really are. If they wanted to use pure wrestling, they could do it quite well. And right now, it looks like Victor Rivera is getting a very good shot now to break that bear hug by Guido. Victor still inside that bear hug, trying to break the hold. He finally broke it. Coming off. That forearm smash coming off. An elbow in the back of the head. Victor ramming his head into the corner turnbuckle, Lou.
Well, there's Cannon again. You know, it's just impossible. It looked like Victor was going to get to his feet, and Cannon pulled his leg again.
Victor with an arm whip on Guido. Bolo coming in, no dice. Victor, I'll tell you.
That Victor is some athlete.
Another arm whip into the corner turnbuckle. Tag to Dino Bravo. Now Guido's trying to reach his partner. Remember, this is a title match. The tag team belts are on the line for this one. And Dino unloading another big smash on Bolo. The crowd getting behind him now.
A great young wrestler.
Look at that deal, Lou fans. Look at that run.
Just beautiful. That young fella can move.
A double punch.
They've got it put together.
I think they do too. You know, there's excitement in here tonight. We feel something.
These young fellows are really coordinated, as if they had been a team for some time.
Here comes Guido. Guido Mongol. Victor Rivera exchanging punches. There's the Guido now. Wait a minute, what is he doing? Let's see. Guido Mongol trying to get to the corner. Trying to get to the corner now. The Mongol, wait a minute, going over Victor. I think he's got him. He's got him, ladies and gentlemen.
Victor bridged out on him.
Unbelievable.
Victor bridged out on him.
Unbelievable. Fans of fight. Let me see once they get the belt. I don't know if this is true or not, fans. There it is. Referee Tommy Young. Referee Tommy Young awarding the World Tag Team Championship belts to the Mongol, to Victor Rivera, Gina Bravo. I'm going up to the ring. Champions.
Apparently, I missed something. Apparently, both shoulders were down. The commission tells me so. If this is the case, then I cannot turn the belts over to Dino and Victor.
Ladies and gentlemen, wait 1 second. We'll be back with more wrestling with a wrap-up. One timeout right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemonium is breaking loose right here. Now, wait a minute. To everybody, wait a minute. The IWA commissioner in attendance here tonight explained that both men's shoulders were pinned off of that move. Therefore, the Mongols are not the tag team champions any longer. And, wait a minute, and Rivera and Bravo. Nobody's champions. There's no champions. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. There are no IWA World Champions right now. Rivera and Bravo and the Mongols have a chance at the belts. Fans, we'll see you next week for Luz and Ron Martinez next week right here, International Championship Wrestling.